let's take a look at a simple cirrus cloud. And these are these long, almost trail-like clouds that group together in the sky. And this is just one type of cirrus cloud. And this is pretty fun to create. So we will start with a box, just a simple box. I'll hide this for now. Let's make it quite big and thin. Okay, and again I'll drop down a cloud just to convert this into a volume. I'll need to change the sampling division so we can get some density in here. And now I want to put down a volume VOP. Nice. Now inside, the first thing I want to do is use a ramp. And this will give us the lines through the volume, so we can mirror this ramp. And I'll take the position using a vector to float. And I want to grab the Z position as the input here. And up the blur a little. Okay, so next up is to add the waves throughout the lines here, and I can do this in the same way that we did with the Voronoi noise, so adding some noise to the bass position. Make sure I've grabbed the right input here. That's better. So let's change the frequency. And up the amplitude. And finally, I want to just reduce the roughness here so we get these waves throughout the box. Awesome. On top of this, I want to break it up a little more using another noise at a higher frequency. And a much lower amplitude. And a much higher roughness. Something like this. And finally, I want to do a couple of things. I want to multiply another noise on top of this to break it up. And tighten up the ramp output here using a fit range. Cool. So now we get that very clear, almost a swirl-like pattern through the box, and then we have that broken up by some noise. Cool. So this is another way to build your cloud using VOPs. And finally, I just wanted to take a quick look at the fog, the bank of fog that was used in the final scene, and also the atmospheric volume. Okay, so there are a couple of things within this scene that I wanted to take a look at. The first one was the fog. So this is one of the fog banks that was used within the scene, just behind the castle. If I take a look inside, you can see it's just the same setup, except I have used a sphere as the base, and then a mountain just to add some general noise to this, converted it into a cloud and scattered some shapes, and then used the cloud noise to give me the main silhouette here. I have also animated the offset within the noise, so I get some movement through the animated scene. And at the end here, you can also see I used a volume slice just to check out what the silhouette might look like. And this is pretty straightforward. You can choose what type of visualization you want, whether that's infrared or grayscale, and then you can change the offset within the volume, which plane it works along, and also whether or not you're using a mesh or a volume to preview this. Nice. So that's the fog, or at least one of the fog banks. And finally we have the Atmos. And this is just a general cloud that sits over the whole scene. And inside you can see it's the same setup, a box, the cloud, and then some cloud noise. Nice. So in the next video, we will take a look at shading all of these and what they'll look like in the final render. Thanks.